Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid, just going into Bitcoin, big the CoinsKid crew. So I do have some bids now on Bybit and BitGet on the golden ratio at $11,692. I do have some long bids down there with really tight stop loss for Bitcoin, and I'm going to give you a time frame as a thought experiment as to when that could actually come, if it comes at all. Okay, I do think looking at the charts here, you can clearly see if we look at all the legs of resistance and support going forward, you can see if I drop a horizontal line in just there on that high. Okay. So drop a horizontal line and you can clearly see from 2017, just there, that's your resistance. That's where you topped out and entered that bear market, okay? So you can see in 2020, just there, we tested it as resistance and melted through it. So eventually, because you melted that resistance just there, it was always kind of on the cards that you're going to come back to its support. And this is exactly where you sort of consolidated right there on that previous resistance, okay, as support. So you're sort of holding this support and then boom, you broke down. So going forward, one thing that would be bullish is if you can break back above, and start to turn that into support once more, okay? So look for that. That could be a really good entry point for you if you're just looking for a confirmation point right now that once we break this white line, around about $19,903, which was that leg of resistance. Previous support is now sort of major resistance going forward. If you turn that into support once more, that's a very strong statement from Bitcoin. Will it do it? I don't know. But what I'm looking at right now, just identifying support and resistance in the charts, is a possible scenario looking at support and resistance that potentially we're looking at a crossroads just there on the Monday, the 12th week of December this year. It's the final bottom and capitulation event for Bitcoin. And the reason is because we could be looking for this retest of this high just there, this leg of resistance, because you've broken it just there, okay? So this is something that's on the radar for me, and this is why I've put some bids down here on Bybit and BitGet, some nice little long positions down there with a really tight stop loss. It may get there, it may not. To invalidate that right now, we've just got to break this resistance, hold it in support, and then start to break out here, and we've got some kind of V-shaped recovery, and we're not necessarily going to come down to these prices. But there are a number of reasons why we could get there, okay? Because look at this low here, which is a level of support, which I said to you last week. If this thing breaks down, this is a good area to put some little long bids in, catch a little long, take a bit of profit, which is what I did into resistance right there, and rode a lovely little long, because this is what you identify support and resistance on the way down. And if you remember here, very toppy rising wedge, and I said to you, coming down, put some bids down here on this swing low, and it's just there in the charts, you can see it, okay? And it was a beautiful little long bid, came up, rode a beautiful impulsive move to the upside. We rode two of them, 1618, 1618. Even the ABC was a beautiful 1618 fib retracement right there, beautiful ABC before another impulsive move, take some profit, wait for the pullback, and then boom. It never came, we never got the retracement, and in that sense, Bitcoin entered this massive drawdown. So again, all you got to do is look at the charts and you can identify support and resistance. And here, when we was holding this support in the summer this year, I said to you, if you break down and you lose that resistance, all you got to do is come to the charts, because what you've got here is nothing between this low, okay, and this high. So you've got nothing. So you immediately fall down, and this is a good area to just load up some longs on Bybit, BitGet, whatever, because this is where you'll get a relief, basically. And this is what happens, and this is exactly what you've done here. You've lost this high, and I said to you here, when you lose the high, put some bids down here on this low, because this is where you'll get relief, and that's exactly what we're getting right now. So what I'm going to do is tell you exactly what I was telling you in the summer just there, and exactly what I was telling you when you lost this high, that if you lose it, you've got to put some bids down here. So just here, if you lose this low right now that you put in for Bitcoin, you've got nothing but thin air between this leg here and this high that you put in 2019 and retested as resistance as 2020. So for me, I would be looking to put some bids on that, just because of technical analysis, not because of hopium or bullshit, or because he said, she said. It's because of the charts, okay? So just there, you've got nothing but thin air, like you had nothing but thin air between this leg of support to this high, boom. This leg of support to this high, boom, okay? And you're literally toying with it. So unless we see some kind of V-shape right now back above this white line, for me, I think that you've got thin air between this support and this green line here, okay? So I am looking at a bit of a crossroads here, given the golden ratio on this fib retracement, which I think we're going through. I think what we're doing here on the grand scheme of things, and I did go through this with you before, is ignore the noise, ignore everything else. I think that what we've got is this low from 2020, and we put this impulsive move, and all we're doing is we're tracing to it, looking for the continuation of the trend. If we start to fall through the fibs here and come really deep to this low, to the 1 fib, we are no longer retracing. We are putting something called a reversal wave, which is really ultra bearish, okay, because you're losing structure on the grand scheme of things here for Bitcoin. So you would be losing the March 2020 lows. So at the minute, all we're doing is retracing to it. So the nominal retracement level that Bitcoin loves to retrace to so many times and so many time frames is the golden ratio. So is it just simply a case that Bitcoin is retracing to the golden ratio, bottom out down there, and then continue on its journey, okay, to the upside? Possibly. So this is why I've loaded up some bids down there on Bybit at $11,692 in the hope that I catch a little wick bid, because I think just there we're toying with this very thin leg of support just there, and if we start to fall, boom, we're down there. There is a bit of confluence here, a bit of a crossroads, in the sense that what we've got is this fib channel, okay, and you can clearly see in June just there we bounced off the golden ratio. This level here is the golden ratio, okay, and then we've come up into resistance and cooling down, and then boom, we're dropping again. So you can clearly see this here, this leg, this 236 has been major resistance. We've failed to get through it. So just there we're sort of consolidating at the moment. If we drop, we've got a bit of crossroads here, in the sense that what we've got is the retracement from this high to this low on the golden ratio at $11,692, and we've equally got the crossroads just there of the fib channel. So we might actually bottom like this, consolidate. We might actually be in this sort of leg now on this high, okay, we might be consolidating just there on this low before one last little drop down to that level there, which is this high and the golden ratio. So that's it. You know, that's just a basic thought experiment and a little bit of technical analysis to say that we might be looking at one leg of capitulation, a final leg down here, and a potential bottom scenario for Bitcoin on the golden ratio on Monday the 12th week of this year, okay? So I enjoyed that update. For me personally, I'm putting some bids in down there on Bybit and BitGet. You can do the same. Amazing sign-up bonuses. Take advantage of those sign-up bonuses. Hope you enjoyed that update, and thank you for support. Remember, I've not got a crystal ball. Take care, everyone. Back soon with another update on Bitcoin. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Bye-bye.